Hello, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. My name is Beth Ann, and it has been a while since I was regularly posting on YouTube, and it's certainly been a very long time since I did a video in what was to be my new series, the Tenure-track Tuesday series. I only did a couple videos in this series before I inadvertently took a hiatus. So for anyone who was paying attention and forgot in the intervening months, or for new folks who are curious, my idea with Tenure-track Tuesdays was as a new professor. So I had been a professor for a little over a year, I guess, when I decided to start that series. I hit 2 years this past May 2024. So as a new professor in my second year, I was facing the first round of review on the tenure track. So a 2-year review to assess how I was doing in my pursuit of tenure. And I also had the goal in the spring, this past spring, this is Pooh Bear, by the way, of applying for a major research grant through the National Science Foundation. So I wanted to start a video series to just sort of reflect on my experiences going through the tenure review process, and also just to try to motivate myself and have some accountability as I worked on my grant. So that was all very great, and I wasn't posting regularly because life and job and menaces like this cat. But yeah, everything was going great until March, when my institution announced surprise serious financial troubles, where things were way worse off than we had known. So the institution had been struggling for a little while, as many higher education institutions have been doing and continue to struggle for a number of different reasons. In our case, really primarily we needed enrollment to pick up. We had an enrollment slump due to the pandemic. We are a small school that did not have a large endowment, yada, yada, yada. So we've been needing enrollment to pick up. It has not been picking up to the extent that we need. And I'm not under any NDAs or anything like that, but I certainly don't want to throw an institution and hardworking people under the bus. But let's say there were some preventable financial things that happened. So surprise to the faculty in March that some things came to light. And from my perspective, I'd been having a very positive experience going through the tenure review process, was feeling very on top of things, was feeling really great. But I had been really struggling to get the institutional support that I needed to make even the most early progress on that grant application that I just mentioned. Again, major grant effort. Of course, most of the work is on the principal investigator's shoulders, so my shoulders, to develop the proposal and describe the work. But the institution itself has to be the body that administers the grant. And I was just getting stonewalled by our grants office. I kept asking. The main thing was they told me that I would need to fill out a particular budget template so that they would be able to sort of start pushing through the official paperwork on their side. And over the course of 5 months of me asking every 2 to 3 weeks for that budget template, I still had not received it. So I had already been increasingly grumpy. Not that anything, my personal happiness or my career, was riding on this grant proposal, but I wanted to be able to try to pursue major research grants. And so it became very clear to me that this institution was not going to be able to support sort of that aspect of my own career growth. And then with all of the financial troubles, it became clear that that institution was not going to be able to support any of my career growth. I love teaching, but I'd been teaching there 2 years, just about 2 years at that point, and had yet to teach an upper level seminar in my area of expertise. Finding students who were interested in doing sort of real field driven research was difficult. Not throwing any shade at the students at all, because the students were incredible. I love the students so much. But all of those things, and then just the stories that were being spun and the marketing that was being spun of the ways that the institution is going to try to dig itself out of its financial hole, include things like the STEM fields are going to be pivoting and orienting much more strongly to pre-health sciences, which is great. That's where the demand is. And certainly we've all experienced it firsthand in the medical care arena. We need more doctors, we need more nurses, we need more support staff for sure. So, not begrudging anyone that, but I'm an environmental scientist. So for me, the writing was on the wall that the institution was not going to be able to support me. So this all happened in early March. I pivoted right away, got on the job market, and found a job that I started in May. So I'm now 2 months into a new job. It is not an academic job. I could go into a whole other rant. But there are some other academic institutions in my area. None of them were hiring on the timeline that I need. This is very frequent in academia, that when you change jobs, you change locations. And my daughter was just completed kindergarten this past year and has been doing really happy and thriving. So I was never an option. This spring, I refused to consider anything that would have me move. So I have a job that is mostly remote. With some travel. I'm working as an environmental consultant for an organization that does scientific research, that prioritizes science, and that tries to position itself in the field of doing sort of very careful science-based, evidence-based work. The field primarily is the energy field. The company that I work for now does a whole bunch of different things, but primarily I will be working with solar energy installations, primarily at the large utility scale, and working on habitat management, so vegetation management, pollinator management, for those who know me and my love of bees. So I am still getting to be a scientist, working in this very applied setting, getting to do things that have impact on the ground. So I miss teaching. I miss my students. I'm going to miss that even more once the semester starts, and I'm not there. But the career growth is strong here. So I'm having fun. I'm excited to be on the steep part of a learning curve again. So yeah, all good changes. So all of that to say, this is my third and my last Tenure-track Tuesdays video, because I am no longer on the tenure track, at least for the foreseeable future. So I wanted to come back on, give a bit of a life update. The other thing that happened this spring is that I broke my ankle in April. So that is all well and good. I'm back to all my full activities and everything. But that also did just put a bit of a slowdown on the things that I was doing this spring. So I have not been on BookTube. I always say this, but I'm hoping to get back to BookTube a little bit more. I have piles and piles of books that I would love to talk about. I think that's it for now. I will see you all in the next video, which will be book related. Thanks. Bye.